Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm an Airbus pilot, and welcome back to the A350-1000. Today we're going to fly from rainy Paris over to Martinique, which is going to take us about 8 hours going down to a much nicer climate. It's also been a little while since we've flown the A350-1000, so I'm really looking forward to being back in this aircraft. Now, without any further ado, let's just get straight into it. And here we are in the cockpit of the A350. Our FO is here already, and I have a feeling, since it is rather rainy outside, I know who is going to do the walk around today. And with that, we have already decided who's going to be pilot flying. Spoiler, us. Alright, so, small thing to start with. I did turn off the noise cancelling headphones sounds today, just because, well, it's nice to have a little bit of a change every now and then, and in the real world you do not have A&R headsets in every aircraft. So say for example that the A&R headset you have breaks down, the airline doesn't have an A&R replacement, they might just about send you with a standard headset. So these things do happen, and we'll simulate that that's happened today. Apart from that though, let's go ahead and have a look into what's really important, and that's of course going to be our flight plan. So I did already import our flight plan over here, A350-1000 in the Juliet Papa with the Air Caribs flight 510 from Orly to Martinique. Call time will be French West 10 Alpha. Let's next have a look into the flight plan, and we're going to start with our route of flight, which is a fairly easy one. So we're going to depart Paris-Orly, and then we're going to enter our first small ETOPS section based on Porto. Then we have another about 2 hours based on the Azores, where we don't have to fly ETOPS, and thereafter around about 3-hour ETOPS section down here, until we finally make landfall based on our destination airport already. Well, the weather itself is very good en route, so nothing over here, and nothing over here. And with that out of our mind, let's go ahead and have a look into the airport weather, which should be pretty good today as well. But should is not something we are going to rely on, so let's have a look. Orly, light showers of rain, and tempo reduced visibility, probably due to those showers of rain. But now where it really matters, our destination, Fort de France, has very good weather conditions right now, and is forecast to have occasional showers of rain with reduced visibilities, but all within the limits for our approaches. Pointe-à-Pitre as our alternate is the very same thing, typical Caribbean weather for this time of the year. Now, going further up in the flight plan, an on-time departure means an early arrival. We have more than enough margin with any of our weights, and cost index 30 is the plan today. Looks like we are gonna cross the Atlantic on level 360, Mach decimal 85, and then later on level 380. Which is perfectly fine for me. Then let's have a look into the fuel section down here. So we can see that we are filed with 20 minutes of contingency fuel today. Alternate and final reserve is more than an hour. So basically those 9.5 hours of fuel here are looking very good. That means 59.4 is our minimum. Let's make it 59.5 to cover the APU as well. So we'll go down here onto the load sheet, 59 and 500. Alright, set the zero fuel weight, set our fuel, and that's everything we've got to do down here. Perfect then. So, that much for the basics. Let's go ahead and quickly do our performance calculation as well. It's going to be a wet runway, anti-ice off, 1+F, air conditioning off as well, and compute. So, performance limit to takeoff weight 333, so it's going to be easy going. And then for the terminal charts, Orly, search, and we can take the APC number 1. No, actually, there are some for the A350 only. Let's go ahead and bring those up. Here we go, so A350-1000, that's the one, and the same for the AGC as well. Perfect, so that's about what we need. Finally, let's also collect our SID chart, which is going to be Lima Golf Lima 2 Whiskey. So let's find that one, and this is really where I would love my Lido charts to be labeled a little bit better. but looks like it's this one over here. And let's see, noise abatement departure runway 24, is that relevant? No, not really. Okay, that's fine, so this is the one we need. Cool, so that's our EFB setup complete. Then let's go ahead with our preliminary cockpit preparation. Thrust levers idle, engine master levers off, start selector norm, landing gear lever down, the wipers are off. We don't need to check the battery voltage anymore since the aircraft is powered already. So let's go ahead and turn on the ADS 1, 2, and 3. Then we can do our recon. So that's going to be 21, 22, 23, and normal. Excellent. Cool. Then we can do the dispatch page, which is not simulated just yet. APU fire test. Is okay. Temperature is 18 degrees outside. Let's see about the temperature inside. 16 to 17. Yeah, that's gonna heat up when the passengers start boarding, so I'm perfectly fine without the APU for the time being. Alright, so oxygen pressure is good, rain repellent level is normal. Then let's get the hydraulics going, and let's get rid of that GSX menu. So hydraulics are looking good. Then engine. Looks like we need to power the FADEX manually. Here we go. So oil quantity is okay for today's flight. And then flaps are up, spoil is retracted, that matches the levers. Let's test the alternate brakes here, looking good. And park and brake is set again. Very good. So the brake pressure is slowly getting into the whites. So I tell you what, let's go ahead and turn on the electric pumps here. So that should be the yellow system in the A350 if I'm not mistaken. Come on, let's turn that on. Wait a short moment. Looks like it's actually both of them. Okay, fine with me as well. So hydraulics, yellow is powered, and that's actually not recharging it. Let's do the reinflate function then. Here we go, that's good. Alright, perfect. So then we can turn the electric pump off again. Alright, and that's that. So then let's continue with our cockpit preparation procedure. So this is really the standard stuff that you guys already know, so I'm not going to talk about it too much. Refueling is complete, so we can turn all the signs on, and the pumps as well. Like this, over here everything's set. We don't have temperature sensitives in the forward hold, but we do have some in the aft hold, so let's turn it up to 20 degrees. Voice recorder test, looking good. Over here everything's set. Then we don't have a QNH just yet, but let's go ahead and do the flatplan initialization here. So company flatplan request and pending. Okay, already received, waiting for insertion. Perfect. So insert. So what do we have up here? Flight 510 from Orly to Martinique, that's correct. Runway 24, Lima Golf Lima to Whiskey departure, and runway 10 for the arrival. That looks good for the time being. And since we have this now, let's go on to the ATC comms. Say intentions is selected, ADSC connected, message record is erased, and then the D8 is update all. And print all. So let's see. Paris Orly. QNH 1013, temperature 19. Scattered clouds, broken clouds. And well, runway 24 and 25. That's fair enough with me, happy with that. Alright, cool. So QNH 1013 is cross-checked. And set. Now we need a couple of frequencies. So ground chart delivery 12155 and 11705. Like this. Then on number 2 we need 1215. And let's see, the Asus is 131355. Not that we'd really need it, but better to have it than to need it, right? Okay, so that's everything set on this side. Now we can do the same on the other side. Like this. Then here everything's set. You can go onto the transponder, and that's it. Wonderful. So, surveillance page, transponder is on standby, perfect, and then let's head into the FMS. So, French West 10 Alpha, Orly to Martinique, alternate in Fort-de-France. So, let's see, flight level 350 initially, so we can already change this. When we get up there, let's see, temperature -50, tropopause 36,000. Okay, that's good. Then IRSs are aligning on the GNSS position. Departure, runway 24, Lima Golf Lima. To Whiskey. Insert. So, for the arrival, runway 10 with an ILS, I think it's Zulu if I'm not mistaken, but let's look it up real quick. So, terminal charts, Martinique, select. So, on-off stars, runway 10, let's have a look. Coming in from Umamu, and that will lead us to Carax. Okay, so we need an approach out of Carax or from Dated. Well, we have one from Dated, so ILS Zulu. That one's actually available from Carax as well, so I suppose both is going to work. So ILS Zulu, then that's a lot of different arrivals. Let's see, Umamu to Delta, to Dated. Cool, and insert. So then, nav 8, nothing on here, fuel and loads. And we are planned at a zero fuel weight of 199.7. Block fuel is 59.5, looking good. Alright, we don't know the passenger numbers just yet. Then let's see about the alternate fuel. So that's 3.2 and 2.7. Alright, and that's looking very good. So then, let's go back onto the takeoff performance, and down here we've got the wet runway in, very nice, sent to FMS. Confirm, and that's with flags, no shift, packs off, that's looking good, engine out acceleration will be in 1800, like this, position monitor, we've got LFPO24. Alright, so everything over here is checked. Climb page is looking good as well. And let's go on to the secondary. So, import active, flight plan. And then insert next waypoint. And that's gonna be Orly X3. LFPO24. So let's see about the bearing and the distance. Do we have the runway track anywhere over here? It would kind of be logical to have it here, but looks like we don't. Fair enough. So, terminal charts back to Paris, and then let's have a look at the AGC. So, runway track 241. And the distance 25. Alright, store waypoint. So, Orly X3, hold at a lag time of 1 minute. And then return. So from here, new destination, LFPO, enter. And the arrival is going to be on runway 25 with an ILS approach. Like this, perfect. Alright, very good. So back to the primary flight plan. Flight plan info, fix info, then over here we will enter the extended center line. So from Orly runway 24 with the radial 241. And on the fix 2 page, Orly X3. And here we go. Alright, so far so good. Then let's go ahead and enter the step altitudes as well. So basically flight level 350 is in there already, and then it's gonna be 360. Well, not at 20 west, but at paces. That's incorrect in the flight plan. So paces 360. And then we need, let's see, 50 west for flight level 380. Okay. Oh, look at that. They actually simulate optimum steps as well now. That's new. Very nice. Well, we might give that a try later on in flight. We'll see about it. In any case, the flight plan is now entered, so let's go back and do the wind data request. You basically always want to enter the winds before you do, or you always want to enter the step climbs before you request the winds, just so that you can be actually sure that it requests the wind at all relevant levels. But this is looking pretty good. Alright, so that's our FMS setup. Almost completed. Let's just go to the SAC2, import active, so that we have a backup of the entire active flight plan. We're not going to use SAC3 because that one is in use for any ATC uplinks. Alright, 7 hours 43 minutes, 10.4 tons remaining expected. 3,768 miles versus 3,768 miles. Wow, perfect. Looks like boarding is completed as well already. So I guess we can expedite this. Let's just give it a moment to load the airport map down there. That just takes such a long time. But then again, those Airbus computers aren't exactly the quickest in the real world as well. Alright then, wonderful. That should be everything we need. Cool. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and request our IFR clearance. So ATC com, request, clearance, departure from LFPO gate Alpha 4. And we have ATIS Echo. Alright, so from Paris Orly, gate Alpha 4, ATIS Echo, A350-1000, destination Tango Triple Fox, that's all correct. So transfer the mailbox. Looking good, sent. Perfect, so while we're waiting for the clearance, let's start the briefing, shall we? Alright, so for the departure briefing, we are going to depart Paris, Orly, runway 24, Lima Golf Lima 2, Whiskey departure. Initial climb will be by ATC, most likely something about 5,000, and the MSA today is 3,200. Extra fuel and time. It's 1,500 kilos, which equals 16 minutes. Alright, thank you for that. So I have no hotspots for our taxi routing. However, something that I do absolutely have for our taxi routing, there's a couple of limited taxiways here, and to be honest, Paris is one of those airports that I just find super difficult to taxi on. Alright, request. Yep, thanks, close, and here's the clearance. So, Wilco, send, print. Okay, so, Paris is just one of those airports that I find super difficult to taxi, so let's just go over it real quick. We're parking down here, Alpha 4, pushback onto Alpha, and then we gotta see about the taxi routing. I guess it's gonna be straight at Alpha, then something over here, Lima Mike or whatever that is, then a right turn onto Whiskey 1, and via Whiskey 1 all the way to the holding point Whiskey 41. That's my expectation, but they do have alternative routes over here as well, so we'll just see what ATC is actually going to give us. Now for our rejected takeoff, we have a stop margin that's going to be, well, a couple hundred meters, I suppose. Engine out sits straight at 25 miles, climbing to the Orly X3 point, climbing 4,000, 3,200 is the MSA. Now, apart from that, I have no specials, nothing non-standard, and that's it. Do you see threats? No? Beautiful. So that's our briefing completed. And let's go ahead and start the APU. And then we can do the cockpit preparation checklist, please. Gear pins and covers removed. Fuel quantity 59,500 kilograms balanced. Barrel reference QNH 1013. Cockpit preparation checklist complete. Alright, beautiful. So while we're waiting for the APU start, let's check our performance. So the zero fuel weight is indeed 199.7 and the CG 30.9. So 30.9, and we have 367 guests on board. Okay, that leads us to a takeoff weight of, let's see, where's the total weight on here? Actually nowhere. Oh, that's lovely. Well, in any case, that's the expected weights, isn't it? So let's just do synchronize here once more. Yeah, exactly what we've expected. Okay, cool. So compute, and we are just going to keep those numbers over here. Very nice. So that's it. The APU is avail. Oh. And it's gone. Okay, fine with me. So let's trust check the clearance. Cleared to Martinique via Lima Golf Lima to Whiskey departure, runway 24. And we've got runway 24, Lima Golf Lima to Whiskey. So, maintain 4,000 is set, and the squawk is something 542. Come on, give me that list. Interesting, where is my clearance? That should have been in here. But okay, let's see. Can we cheat a little? Here we go. Squawk 5542. Alright, cool. So with that, we are done with everything down here. Let's get GSX to prepare the position for pushback and departure, and in the meantime, we can request our clearance here as well. So, just a quick check. 123875. Pre-selected. Nice. Orly delivery, bonjour, French West 10 Alpha, request startup.
French West 10 Alpha, you are on the clearance frequency. Contact the correct frequency for startup request.
Yeah, that is the clearance frequency. Okay, I don't care, let's just get our pushback from ground straight away. Normally they should have given us startup approved contact ground. That's how it should have gone. Okay, so remove the GPU, remove the chocks, park and brake is set, then we can just say bonjour to our passengers and off we go. Bonjour, mesdames et messieurs, from the flight deck, this is your captain speaking. My name is Emmanuel. In the name of Cockpit, I would like to welcome you on board our Airbus A350-1000 on our flight 510 to Martinique. Today's flight time will be approximately 8 hours. We expect a smooth flight in initially 36,000, later on 38,000 feet. For the time being, just make yourself comfortable, sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight with us, and we will start our pushback, make our way to our destination in just a few moments when the latest paperwork has been worked on. Thank you very much for your attention, and once again, welcome aboard. I'm not going to do a French version here, so let's go for pushback clearance, shall we? Orly ground, bonjour, French West 10 Alpha Heavy, request pushback and startup.
French West 10 Alpha, pushback and startup approved, face west.
Pushback and startup approved, face west, French West 10 Alpha. Okay, before start checklist. So, park and brake. Set. Takeoff speeds and thrust. V1 139, VR 153, V2 159, flex 55. Slides. Armed. Nose wheel steering disconnect memo. Checked. Before start checklist complete. Ground flight deck. So we're clear to push and start. Face west. Park and brake set. Roger. Release park and brake. Park and brake released, and you're clear to push. We are standing by for your clearance to start the engines. Roger. Alright, and here we go. So that's been going pretty quick. Let's see, 28 minutes in.
Welcome aboard Air Caribbean's flight 510, departing from Paris to Martinique. My name is Laura, and I am your lead flight attendant today.
Okay, so starting in sequence 1, then 2.
Pierre, Sophie, and Antoine. We appreciate your cooperation as we prepare for departure. Please ensure your seat belts are fastened. To fasten your seat belt,
Starting
insert
engine
the
1.
metal tip into the
Clear
buckle
1.
until you hear a click. To release it, lift the buckle. In the event of a loss of cabin pressure, oxygen masks will drop down from the panel above you. Pull the mask towards you to start the flow of oxygen, place it over your nose and mouth, and secure it with the elastic band. Remember to secure your own mask before assisting others. For those in need of flotation devices, swim vests are located under your seats. In the unlikely event of an evacuation, please leave your luggage on board and proceed to the nearest exit. This Airbus A350 is equipped with emergency exits located at the front, over the wings, and at the rear of the aircraft. Please take a moment to locate your nearest exit. Keep in mind that it may be behind you. We expect a flight time of approximately 8 hours. Thank you for your attention, and we wish you a pleasant flight. Captain Emmanuel, the cabin is ready for departure.
Merci. Okay, we have a good start in engine number 1, starting engine number 2. Clear 2. Engine 2 starts. And the pushback is complete, set brakes. Brake set. So, TCAS above, just while I'm looking at it. Oh, look at that engine moving as it ignites. Okay, so they're removing all the equipment over there. The wing walker is once again committing suicide. No further comment on that. And we have 2 good engine starts. So you're clear to disconnect. Show me the pin on the right hand side, please, and have a wonderful day. Au revoir. So, elec AC, why is that? Nothing on there. Alright, so the ramp agent is going, then let's do the flight control track. Full up, full down, neutral. Full left, full right, neutral, rudder. Full left, full right, neutral. Okay, before taxi checklist, or after start checklist. Too many Boeings in the recent time. So, anti-ice, off, flight controls, checked, ground clearance, received. After start checklist, complete. French West 10 Alpha Heavy, request taxi.
French West 10 Alpha, taxi to runway 24 via Whiskey 2, Lima 3, Whiskey 1, Whiskey 41.
Man, stupid GSX menu blocking my click spots. French West 10 Alpha, taxi to holding point runway 24 via Whiskey 2, Lima 3, Whiskey 1, Whiskey 42. So, let's see where that is. Whiskey 2 is the one that we're on. Then they want us to proceed via Lima 3. So, Whiskey 2, Lima 3, Whiskey 1. Pretty much all the way around. Is that correct? Yes, it is. Alright, cool. Man, this notepad is sometimes behaving a little bit strange. Okay, clear right side, clear left side. Brake released, let's go. So, these taxiways are all standard routings for the A350, that's good. Okay, brake check. Brake's okay. So next left, Lima 3. Maximum 10 knots, this is looking good. And now it's a long aircraft, so we have to use quite a bit of oversteering here. So, clear left side, clear right side. Alright, so we're going to follow Whiskey 1, and that's one of those taxiways systems that I just find really interesting. If you look at the chart over here, you can see Whiskey 1 is that one, but then it just turns to the right, while the one going straight becomes Whiskey 47. That's just so strange. Right, so over here it says Whiskey 1 is half right. So not you, but you. So back down to 10 knots. So, I can see a couple of raindrops on our windows. Now they're gone again. Okay, so no changes to our takeoff briefing. Everything's exactly as discussed. And now we just go straight ahead to the full length. So, cabin is ready. Alright, so here comes another one of those strange French things. So Whiskey 1 turns to the right and does not go straight. Because why wouldn't you? Always interesting to taxi here in Orly. It really always is. Okay, talking about taxi, I have no changes to the takeoff briefing, so let's do the taxi checklist, please. So, flap setting, config 1 plus F, radar. Can actually select it up here as well. Is on, taxi checklist complete.
French West 10 Alpha, contact tower on 120.5.
120.5, French West 10 Alpha. Orly Tower, bonjour, French West 10 Alpha Heavy, ready for departure.
West 10 Alpha. Heavy. Orly Tower. Runway 24. Winds 230 at 12. Cleared for takeoff.
Runway 24, clear for takeoff. French West 10 Alpha. Heavy. Cabin crew, prepare for departure. So, clear on the approach. Line up checklist, please. Cabin secured. Takeoff runway 24, full length. Packs 1 and 2. Off. Line up checklist complete. Alright, so we will take a moment on the runway just to analyze the weather radar before we set takeoff thrust. But ATC has to expect something like that in these weather conditions. And in the real world they do. Okay, so let's just wait for a sweep of the radar here. But everything's looking good. Alright, perfect. Are you ready? Then let's go. Takeoff. Manflex 55, SRS, runway, auto thrust. First set. Wipers off, 100 knots.
V1.
Rotate. Positive climb. Europe. Nav. Checked. Okay. Autopilot 1. Thrust decline, climb auto thrust.
French West 10 Alpha, contact departure on 123.875.
123.875, French West 10 Alpha. Departure bonjour, French West 10 Alpha Heavy, passing 1,700, climbing 4,000. Flap 0, speed checked.
French West 10 Alpha. Heavy Orly departure identified. Climb 4,000.
Climb 4,000, French West 10 Alpha Heavy. Okay, so the flaps are up. Acceleration flow pattern, flaps up, speed brakes disarmed, landing gear up, and packs on. Very nice, and with that we're on the way.
French West 10 Alpha, climb flight level 200.
French West 10 Alpha, climb flight level 200. 20,000 blue. A little bit of rain here, temperature is 18, so anti-ice is no concern. And reset the timer. Well, and with that we are on the way. Lovely European weather over here, but in just about 8 hours we'll be in a whole different world. A little bit of weather along the way, but not much we can actually do about it. One thing we can do though is to dim those screens a little bit. Okay, so standard. Standard cross-check, passing flight level 55. Now. Checked. Alright, looking good. So we'll keep an eye on the temperature. It's down to 13 degrees already. So it's probably going to go into the icing range. At least I see no way how we're going to exit that weather beforehand. Nice rate of climb, 2,500 feet a minute. Let's see, ETA 1839, the schedule is 1845 as far as I remember. And 1905, okay, so we are nice and on time. And here we go. So that may be a little bit bumpy, but not much we can do about it. Temperature is 10 degrees, engine address on.
West 10 Alpha, climb flight level 250.
French West 10 Alpha, climb flight level 250. Flight level 250 blue. Okay, so while we're climbing, let's go ahead and have a look at the OFP already. Because we can do some of the transatlantic stuff already. Respectively, some of the ETOPS stuff. So, data, waypoint, new, that's going to be the ETOPS entry point 1. And that will be on 4247.1 north. And it's actually 4247.1. And 1819.6 west.
You are now permitted to use your electronic devices. Please ensure that they are set to airplane mode. Thank you for your cooperation.
Alright, and store that waypoint. We'll do the others in a moment because we just passed 250. Seatbelts remain on until we get out of the clouds. The rest is looking good. Perfect. Alright, so another one of those. I mean, these aren't bad enough that I would necessarily take a radar vector to get clear of them, but you know, the route gave us something nice, so if there was an early turn available somewhere over here and not just in, you know, 80 miles or so, I might just have asked for that just to get clear, but it's fine that way as well. So, LPPD TFFF. Now the big question, what's the ICAO code of those?
French West 10 Alpha, climb flight level 270.
French West 10 Alpha, climb flight level 270. Flight level 270, blue. So let's see, L...
French West 10 Alpha, climb altitude 5, 270 feet.
What? Say again.
French West 10 Alpha, climb altitude 5, 270 feet.
Negative. We climb flight level 270, French West 10 Alpha. That was a strange instruction. And reported that one. Okay, so, let's log on to CPDLC here before we do the rest. So, ATC con, connect, and let's see what that's gonna be. Lima Fox Romeo Romeo. Okay, and notify. So then, back to our waypoints, and then let's have a quick look. Papa Delta Lima. And just to be 100% sure on our destination, need the IATA code there as well. Fox Delta Fox.
French West 10 Alpha, climb flight level 270.
French West 10 Alpha, climb flight level 270. Hey, you could have done that straight away, my friend. Alright, we're clear of all the weather, so let's release our guests. And engine anti-ice off. Very cool. So, now we just need our ETOPS points. So we got north 2927.8.
French West 10 Alpha, contact Paris Control on 124.85.
124.85, French West 10 Alpha. Paris Control, bonjour, French West 10 Alpha Heavy, passing level 169, climbing level 270. Paris Control, bonjour, French West 10 Alpha Heavy, level 184, climbing 270. Engine 2
French West 10 Alpha, Paris Control identified. Good afternoon.
Okay. So then, 555.0.6. Like this, and that's our ETOPS waypoint start. Then let's just quickly head over into the CPDLC because I want to make a request. Lateral, direct to, and deduct. Alright, transfer the mailbox. Request direct to deduct. And send. Let's see if we can get that. In the meantime, back to the flight plan info and fix info. So we'll have the ETOPS entry point 1 in here. Then Papa Delta Lima, Fox Delta Fox in here. And the ETOPS exit point number 1 in here. Alright. So, last but not least, let's find the nut entry over here at Pacers. Constant Mach system, 0.85. And we'll need that pretty much all the way to the end, I think. Yeah. Okay, cool. So, Tempe insert. Perfect, and with that we are well prepared for our crossing. The optimum is 368 already, so may just about request flight level 3. Well, it's gotta be 35 until we leave French airspace, so let's request level 350. Vertical, climb 2. 350. Okay, transfer. Request climb to flight level 350. Sent. And clear direct to deduct. So, Wilco, sent. deduct, direct to, insert. Alright, wonderful. So, that's everything I gotta offer you for the time being. So, for now, sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight with us. And if anything interesting happens, then I will of course let you know. Apart from that, sit back, relax, and I see you on the approach to Martinique.
Should I stay here?
West 10 Alpha, contact Martinique approach on 121.0.
121.0, French West 10 Alpha. Well, you've heard it, we're on the approach. So, that was 121.0 for Martinique approach. And our Asus is Quebec. Martinique approach, French West 10 Alpha Heavy, passing 14,500, descending 14,000, information Quebec. All star.
French West 10 Alpha Heavy, Martinique approach identified. Good afternoon, expect the ILS Yankee runway 10 approach into Martinique.
Expect ILS Yankee runway 10, French West 10 Alpha. Okay, ILS Yankee, they say. We had planned for the Zulu approach, but that's not going to be a problem. We can just replan this quickly. So that's most definitely going to be radar vectors then. Okay, fair enough. Then let's go ahead and just change this real quick. So runway 10, and the approach will be the ILS Yankee. Alright, excellent. So go to heading here for a moment and insert this and direct to data again. Okay, and thereafter radar vectors. If that's what ATC wants, that's what ATC gets.
French West 10 Alpha, descend altitude 3000, turn left, heading 200 vectors for the ILS runway 10 approach.
French West 10 Alpha, descend altitude 3000, turn left heading 200, expect vectors ILS Yankee, runway 10. First idle open descent heading. So let's change over to the terrain display here, because I have a feeling this vector might just about take us towards the mountains, but we'll see about it. We'll see what they have in store for us. Okay, in any case, extend the center line, please. So CF10, direct 2, course in. They say 152, that's wrong, we need 095 as runway track. And insert. Okay, here we go. So a little bit high for the time being, but I think it's gonna be alright. So then, let's check. Of course, all the approach data has been removed since we changed the approach. So let's see, we have 125 at 13, 30 degrees, 101, well, 7 they told us. Alright, cool, so that stuff's filled out again. Looks excellent. Well then, let's go for the approach briefing, shall we? At least until we have actually checked the approach itself. So, starting in 2000 at 6.3, 3-degree glide slope, go around straight at 2500, right turn back to Amy Cesare VOR, climb at 5000, no turns before 2500. So let's check that. Well, I can tell you something. That flap 2 speed there is absolutely not correct. And the flap 1 speed isn't either. Okay, well, so that's our missed approach. Should be blue if I'm not mistaken, but we'll keep it at that. Alright, the BTV is still active, excellent, and then I think we can start with our approach briefing. Excellent, so we are going to fly the ILS Yankee approach, runway 10 radar vector into Martinique, the MSA 6300 in the north and 2900 in the south. Minimum is 260, go around straight at 2500 and then a right turn back to the VOR, climb at 5000. Extra fuel and time, let's have a look. It's 5 minutes, 500 kilos.
French West 10 Alpha, turn right heading 245.
Right heading 245, French West 10 Alpha. Heading 245. And we're passing 10,000. Set. Okay, cool. So it will be a flight director guided ILS approach.
Captain, cabin is ready.
Thank you. The flap's full, and
Ladies and gentlemen,
we are
now
going
on
to
our
use
final
maximum
approach into
reverse
Martinique.
BTV vacate on the
Please
second
turn off your
exit to
electronic
the left-hand
devices and
side.
stow them until
Nothing
we
special
have
or
arrived at the
non-standard.
gate. Ensure
Threats
your
for the
tray
arrival,
tables are
definitely some
complete.
high terrain,
Your seats are
up to
in full
3,871
upright
feet in the
position,
north, and that's
your
why
seatbelts
we've
are
got the
fastened.
terrain display
The
active.
aircraft staff
Apart from
will
that,
provide
I have
information
no
regarding
specials and
communication
nothing
flights
non-standard.
once we
Anything
are
from
on
your
the
side?
ground. Thank you for your
No?
cooperation.
Wonderful. So that's our briefing complete. In that case, approach checklist, please. So, barrel ref, QNH 1017, minimum barrel 260, runway condition is dry, and auto brake, BTV. Approach checklist complete. So, I like it.
French West 10 Alpha, turn left heading 205.
Turn left heading 205, French West 10 Alpha. Okay, heading 205, and I think then we'll need to expedite the descent a little. So let's go for half speed brake. So, just about vectoring us clear of those villages over here, it seems. Approaching.
French West 10 Alpha Heavy, 8 miles from CF10. Turn left heading 135, descend altitude 2000 until established on the localizer. Cleared for the ILS runway 10 approach.
Turn left heading 135, descend altitude 2000 until established, cleared ILS runway 10, French West 10 Alpha Heavy. Alright. So, the speed brake's coming back out again. Looks like the heading is just about sending us directly to the final approach fix, so that's looking quite good. The glide slope is alive. 2000 to go. I'll keep the vertical speed. And we're cleared for the ILS. Line 3 dual, autopilot 1 and 2, glide slope localizer blue. Activate approach phase. And confirm.
French West 10 Alpha, contact Martinique Tower on 118.5.
118.5, French West 10 Alpha. So I just gave myself a direct to the Fox India 10 over here. Makes things a little bit easier. Martinique Tower, French West 10 Alpha Heavy, ILS runway 10. Small intercept from above here.
Heavy Martinique Tower.
Flaps 1. Speed checks, flaps 1. Block star, speed vertical speed, flaps 2. Speed checked, flaps 2. Gear down. Glide slope star. Flaps 3.
French West 10 Alpha Heavy Martinique Tower, winds 135 at 12. Runway 10 cleared to land.
Runway 10 clear to land, French West 10 Alpha Heavy. Okay, set go around altitude. 5000 set. Flaps full. Speed checked, flaps full. So you should be ready, my friend. Okay, landing checklist. So, Ecam memo, landing no blue, landing checklist complete. Okay, looking excellent. We'll be stable right at the gate. And that looks awesome.
1000.
Checked, and we are stable. That looks interesting down here. Well then, let's do the rest ourselves. Land 3 single, approach 1.
$500.
So slightly off center line, correcting.
400. $300 above.
Checked.
$200 minimum.
Continue.
100.
A little windy here.
50, 40, 30, 20. Retard. 5.
So, spoilers, reverse green, decel. So we're going to take the second exit here.
French West 10 Alpha. Welcome to Martinique. Contact ground on 121.9er.
121.9, French West 10 Alpha. Okay, manual brakes. Throttle, French West 10 Alpha Heavy. Request taxi to gate 7.
Airbus is there, International Airport. Please remain seated until we reach our final parking position. Did you know that Martinique is known for its stunning beaches?
French West 10 Alpha, taxi to gate 7 via Alpha Tango.
Thank you
Have a good
for
day.
flying with Air Caribs.
Taxi to gate 7 via Alpha Tango, French West 10 Alpha.
And the entire crew.
Okay, wonderful.
we
That's
wish
going to be
you a
off to the
pleasant
left-hand
stay.
side.
The local time here is 2:54 p.m.
With that, quick check of the GSX menu, which is once again messed up. So, gate 7, and you are large enough for me, my friend. Entering by Avia partner. Alright, so, welcome to Martinique. Let's make sure we vacate the runway properly, and once we are completely off, we can do the after landing procedures. So, here we are. Actually, it's 30 degrees, so let's keep the flaps extended in 1. Alright, there is no after landing checklist, so that's it. So, number 7 is going to be right over here. Just inside the turn. And looks like opening that chart has crashed us to the desktop. Alright, my friends. Nonetheless, I do hope you all enjoyed this one. Be sure to leave your feedback in the comments underneath the video. I'm sorry I couldn't show you the parking, but hey, we've done the most important stuff, have we? So with that out of the way, thank you very much for watching. I'm looking forward to see you all again on the next one. If you liked the ATC on this one, be sure to check out Say Intentions AI, which is this channel's sponsor, using the link in the video description and the pinned comment below. And with that out of the way, I'm very much looking forward to see you all again on the next one, hopefully without any crashes to desktop.